Hello. It's good to see you. Today we are going to be making a fun little snack. It's very simple. It only has a few ingredients and I have the recipe right here. I will put this recipe in the description if you would like to make it yourself. It's really simple. I've never made it before, so we're going to be making it together for the first time. It's called Strawberry Shortcake Muddy Buddies. So if you're sitting there like, what in the world kind of a thing is that? It sounds kind of weird, right? Muddy Buddies, but it's this little snack made with Chex cereal, and that's just what they call it. Now in this area, you can buy Muddy Buddies in a bag, different flavors, and they actually have one that is a strawberry yogurt flavor. This might be kind of similar to that, except this doesn't have any yogurt type stuff in it. It does have white chocolate chips in it though, so it's probably going to have a similar consistency and flavor to it. We're going to make them ourselves, and it only takes a few ingredients. So for this, you need some Chex cereal. It did not specify. Now there are different types of Chex cereal. There's corn and rice, and you can get all these different flavors. I decided to just go with the rice Chex cereal. I don't guess it matters. You could mix it up if you had several different kinds. You could use different types of Chex cereal. You don't have to buy, brand name. You can get store brand or, whatever. It doesn't matter. So we have the gluten-free rice Chex cereal from General Mills. No high fructose corn syrup. No artificial flavors or colors. So we're going to need, we need 6 cups of that. So it's going to be a lot of this in there. 6 whole cups of that. Then we're going to need 1.5 cups of white chocolate chips. And for that, I have this nice little packet of Nestle Toll House Premier White Morsels right here. But you can buy store brand or whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever works for you, or if you happen to have some, use whatever you got. So we're going to use these Nestle Toll House Premier White Morsels. You need 1.5 cups of those. You need 1/4 cup of strawberry preserves. Now, in the Shop With Me video yesterday, we found this here. Bon Mama strawberry preserves. Good mother, I guess. Good mama. Strawberry preserves. It is a product of France, but again, just like all the other ingredients, you can use whatever. If you have some of some kind, that's fine. You don't have to get the specific type. We only need 1/4 cup of strawberry preserves, so it's just going to be a little bit anyway. You also need 2 tablespoons of butter. And today for this recipe, we're going to be using this unsalted sweet cream butter from Lidl. And we only need, we only need 2 tablespoons of butter. So I'm going to be using my lovely unsalted sweet cream butter. 2 cups of powdered sugar. And I have some left over from previous videos where we've made things. Need 2 cups of powdered sugar or confectioner's sugar. I'm pretty sure I can get 2 cups out of there. An optional item is dried strawberries. And at the end of this, after we make the Muddy Buddies, I'm going to show you how to make not fried strawberries, dried strawberries. And they have the instructions for that in this little recipe as well. It's really easy. So if you don't have any dried strawberries, or if you just want to make some as a snack, I'm going to show you how to make dried strawberries too. But I picked up a bag of these freeze-dried strawberry fruit crisps. That is a great value item that I found at Walmart. And you're just going to tear this top part off, and it has a zipper seal so you can reseal it after you get out what you need. And it doesn't give a specific amount of dried strawberries. So freeze-dried is probably going to be a little different from just making your own. They're not going to taste exactly the same. But I found these yesterday at Walmart and decided to go ahead and grab them. But then I got to thinking, I got to looking at this recipe. It's really easy, and I thought, well, I'm also going to make some dried strawberries. I'd like to have some as a snack anyway, and I will show you how you make dried strawberries. It's really easy. if you're like me, sometimes I will bring home strawberries, and my kids will eat some, I'll eat some, but there will be a bunch left over. And I hate to see them go bad. This will be a way that you could take those strawberries before they go bad and make them into something that you could possibly enjoy later. I happen to have a container of strawberries here. These are Central West strawberries that I picked up at Aldi just today. Aren't they pretty? There's a little bit of condensation on the package because I just took it out of the refrigerator. Look at these big, pretty strawberries. Oh, look at them. So, and typically what happens, oh, isn't it pretty? Look at that. Oh, these were only $1.49 for all these strawberries. But what happens is, not always, but we will eat like half of them, and then the other half just languishes in the refrigerator until they become all shriveled and like weird raisins, you know, like big red raisins. Instead of doing that, I could just take these and prepare dried strawberry slices. So we're going to do that with these pretty strawberries after we make our Strawberry Shortcake Muddy Buddies. And somebody did make a comment in my Shop With Me video yesterday, and this comes up from time to time whenever I take you through a store and I show you all the different things, because I like to show you some of the items we have available here in some of the stores, at least in my part of the country anyway. And people in other countries are interested to see what we have in our stores. Every now and then it will pop up, this topic will pop up, and it did yesterday, where I will show you a kit, like to make those little cookies. I was showing you can make, it was just a little box, you know, like a one box thing, where you can make these cookies with that frosting stuff in them. And someone from another country said, you know, it's just sad that Americans think that that's cooking, that they think that when they do that, they're cooking. It's just really sad that they don't know any better. Personally, I think that's kind of ignorant to say that. For example, like if you look at this, here's an example. I don't have any of the cookie kits or whatever, but I got this out to show you. Now this is shells and cheese. We're not using that in this recipe. I'm just showing you. So this is from Cheese Club, and it's just pasta with a little packet of cheese sauce. It's not something we eat all the time, but every now and then I will make this. I don't think I am a chef. I don't think I'm a gourmet chef when I prepare this, and I dare say nobody else in America does either. No one makes a kit and thinks that they're, you know, doing something spectacular. We make it because we like it and because it tastes good and it's convenient. You have everything here that you need. You don't have to have a bunch of stuff, you know, cobble together all of the ingredients. If you want to make something quickly, it's a great little convenient option for a yummy food. We don't think it makes us special or anything. But if you think that Americans can't cook, I would disagree with you. I think we have, I would dare say that the United States has the widest variety of cuisines as far as just the different types of food that you can find in one part of the country or another. I don't know that you could really find another country that has the variety that we do because we have such a diverse population. You can go just in my state from one corner to another and find a huge variety of different types of foods to sample and enjoy. When I was a kid, we did a lot of traveling. My dad was in the military for over 20 years, and we would often take road trips to different parts of the country, and we would be gone sometimes for a week or two in the summer, traveling all over the country. I've been pretty much everywhere in the continental U.S. except the Pacific Northwest, and I've gotten to spend time with people and enjoy their cooking and, you know, just all over the place, and it is amazing. There is really just food that will just blow you away in the USA. It's really something. So it's, you know, if you ever get a chance to travel and sample different foods in different parts of the country, it's an amazing experience. So, but just because we have kits doesn't mean that we think it's cooking. We know it's not, you know, but that doesn't mean we don't know how to cook. We do. And I think if you have that attitude, there are a lot of people who have never learned how to cook. a lot of young people, a lot of people my age, my mother never taught me how to cook anything. She made everything from scratch because that's what my dad preferred back when they were still married. But she never showed me how to do it. I learned a little bit by trying to watch her, but she preferred that I not be in the way. So she would shoo me away, so I didn't really learn much. Everything I've learned, I've had to learn on my own for the most part. And I try to encourage other people to try the same thing. But I think you can discourage people from even trying if you make them feel like, doing anything other than making everything from scratch is not worthy of something, like it's inferior. Don't worry about it. If you've never cooked before and you want to start with something like this, the instructions are on here. It is a great place to start. A little kit like this, in my opinion, is a wonderful starting point if you've never cooked before, because you have everything together. There's no guesswork to it. It tells you step by step what to do, and it's wonderful. So we do know how to cook here from scratch, but that doesn't mean that's all we do. And I would dare say that wherever you live in the world, there are lots of people who live around you who make this stuff too. It's, it's kind of a worldwide thing. It's not just here. And we're not shitty people because we do it. So, yeah, I want to encourage people to try, because I know a lot of people who are intimidated by the very thought of preparing food, making anything. They feel like they can't do it. You absolutely can. And I try to show you recipes that are simple but tasty that you can try yourself. And this here, the title just sounds fascinating. Strawberry Shortcake Muddy Buddies. You could make this. You absolutely could. I know you could. We have simple ingredients, simple steps, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So let's get started. We now have everything ready for the first step in this process. For the first step, you're going to need 1 cup of the white chocolate chips right here. And they're very tasty. I have to admit, I had some and I swanny. It's giving me a buzz or something. I don't know what's in these chips, but whew, they're good. I ate some and now I feel like I've had too much caffeine or something. They're delicious. They're really good. Okay. I wasn't really going to get to use this for any other purpose in this video, and I always like to incorporate my little spouted glass container. Isn't it cute? I found this in a thrift store years ago, and it's a wonderful piece. Look at this thick glass on here. And normally we use it for eggs or melted butter, but I'm not melting butter by itself in this recipe. We do have our 2 tablespoons of butter. I just placed in this little glass here. And we need 1/4 cup of these strawberry preserves, which I have there. And I tasted that too. And if you're curious about this brand, it is so good. These preserves are so good. They're not super sweet, and they have bits of strawberry in there. Oh, it's really, really delicious. Bon maman. Strawberry preserves. And I found this at Walmart, and they did have other flavors. If you don't want strawberry, they did have some other flavors. It is delicious. It is so good. Sometimes with these products they can be a little bit too sweet. This stuff is great. It's really good. So for the first step of this recipe, we're going to be combining these 3 ingredients. This is only 1 cup of the white chocolate chips. We're going to need another 1/2 cup later, but right now we just have 1 single cup in here. We're going to be combining the chips, the preserves, and the butter in a microwave-safe bowl. And I'm going to be using this little Anchor Hocking bowl for that. But speaking of bowls, we can't go any further until I show you this. Here I have my beautiful Zak bowls, C-A-K, exclamation point. And I always have to show you my little nested bowls. Aren't they cute? I wanted to tell you a little thing about these. I have had 2 different people now tell me that they purchased these bowls on Amazon and that they use them I think one person tried to microwave something in one, and I don't know what the other one did, but they said that their bowl, one of their bowls cracked or it broke. Let's see what it says on the bottom here. It doesn't say that it's microwave safe or dishwasher safe. There's information on here about the patents for this bowl, but I don't use these in the microwave, and I do not wash them in a dishwasher. I hand wash these, and I don't put them in the microwave or anything. Really, I just use them in these videos to mix items, and I use them in real life to mix items, but that's really it. I just use them as mixing bowls. I don't do anything else with them because I don't know. This is melamine, and you know, you have to be mindful of that. You know, it's not like Pyrex or something like that. So kind of matches my nails a little bit. But I always have to show you my pretty bowls. Look at the flecks on here. Now we're going to be using the largest bowl to mix everything together. We have this pretty blue one, I like that one. And we have this light green. It's kind of like a lime green. Look at all the pretty colors in there. That's so cool. And this is the largest one here. I hope this one will work. We have to put 6 cups of cereal in here. The melted ingredients and 2 cups of powdered sugar. We're gonna try it. If it doesn't work, I always have my great big Tupperware bowl, that cheerful yellow bowl. So if this one doesn't work, that is okay. But first we are going to be mixing together the other stuff. We have our white chocolate chips, our butter, our preserves, and we're going to take all of this, we're going to put them in here. Now what we're going to do, you want to, according to the instructions, you want to mix these, put them together and heat them slowly in short little durations, little bitty spans of time in the microwave. Do not overheat. It said do not overheat. I don't know that it really matters what order you put them in. Have our butter and our lovely, really yummy strawberry preserves. Okay. There. Can't really do much to stir that together, but I could have cut that butter up in chunks, but I didn't feel like it, so I didn't. It's not a huge piece, but you could cut it up if you wanted to, but I do what I want and I didn't feel like it. All right, let's go heat this up in the microwave just a little bit, and then we'll come back and see how it looks. Okay, here we have it after 30 seconds. So I heated it for 30. I probably should have done 20, but it made my butter a mushy ball. Yeah, I probably should have done like maybe 20. It's mixing together. Here, the butter is still in a clump, and some of the chips are still in a clump. I wanted to see how much I could mix it together from here. Okay, I'm gonna do like, I don't want to overheat it, but that butter, I might be able to cut it up. I'm gonna do another 8 seconds. Okay, I did 8 seconds. Melting butter in the microwave for all of our videos I've gotten really good at melting stuff in the microwave. It's a skill I never thought I would have or need, but there we have it. I'm using my little spatula to kind of scrape along the bottom and get that good part off there. And I'm looking for bits of butter. I want to see if we have butter. Big pieces. Not really. All right, now we have to prepare our big bowl with our rice checks. Okay, well the 6 cups of cereal fit in here just fine. So that's 6 cups of the rice checks. The next step is to take your melted mixture here, pour it over the checks, and then we're just going to mix it in. smells good. Actually, it smells really good. Okay. This is a noisy step, so I may have to not include it. Some of the sounds in these videos can be much louder than you would think. Okay, I have now coated the cereal with the mixture. The next step is to add your 2 cups of powdered sugar and shake to coat. Now there are a lot of different ways you can shake. You are welcome to shake your stuff any way you want to. You shake your Muddy Buddies any way you like. Some people get in there with their hands. Some people put it in a bag. Some people you can put Ziploc, like a plastic wrap over it. Do it that way. I'm just going to dump it in like that. I'm going to try just doing a little bit at a time and see what happens. I don't know if that's easier or not. The sound of the cereal changes once you add that mixture because it softens it up. It's not quite so crunchy anymore. And to me, if you add just a little bit at a time, you don't end up flinging that powdered sugar everywhere. But if you're like me, every time you use powdered sugar, it ends up going everywhere anyway, and it looks like, you know, the aftermath of a party in the 80s, and it's just, it happens no matter what I try. I get powdered sugar all over the table, all over me. It just goes everywhere. No matter how careful I try to be, I get powdered sugar all over the place. I do the same thing with flour. I don't do well with white powder. I wonder why. It was just slowly adding it in and fluffing it up like that. I'm trying to make sure I get all the way down to the bottom of the bowl. I don't want to forget that down there. We have some chunks. Look at that chunk. Oops. I'll just go ahead and put that last bit in. Now, one of my good friends, Tan Man ASMR, mentioned in a comment that in the Midwest, they refer to this as puppy chow. I've never heard it called puppy chow before, so I was very curious about that. I wondered why, and then I started thinking, well, why do they call it Muddy Buddies? I don't know the story behind that either. So, for me, when I have a question about something, I like to find the answer. So I looked it up, and I'm going to read the answer to you here. Let me get my phone. I'm going to tell you why they call it that. Okay, puppy chow. Okay, the question is, why do people call Muddy Buddies puppy chow? Puppy chow is thought to have originated in the Midwest and was named because of its resemblance to dog kibble. Later, Czechs caught on to the popularity of the snack and began publishing a recipe for quote-unquote Muddy Buddies on the back of its boxes, which is why the two common names exist. I guess puppy chow was, first of all, it's a trademarked name and they couldn't call it that. Plus, I don't know that you want to associate it with dog food, Okay, now that we have it all mixed up with the 2 cups of powdered sugar, we're going to take our extra ½ cup of chips and we're going to mix these in along with some optional little freeze-dried strawberry fruit crisps, 100% fruit. My hands are clean. Sounds like I'm putting styrofoam in there, or packing peanuts. And I'm just digging down in there and just folding it over. And there we have it. Look at that. We have our Strawberry Shortcake Muddy Buddies. Ooh. And we're going to be trying this in just a little bit, but first, let's work on those dried strawberries. Okay, I took some of the strawberries and I cut them up. I washed them and then I cut them and I just placed them on paper towels to kind of absorb some of that moisture coming out of there. Aren't they pretty? And they're so good. I tried a couple while I was cutting them up. They're so yummy. So in order to dry these strawberries, you want to preheat your oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit or whatever Celsius. You can look it up. Slice strawberries thinly. I don't know if that's probably not thin enough, but whatever. And place on a parchment-lined baking sheet. So here I have my pan. This is just a Nordic ware pan, and I put my parchment paper on it. So then all you do, you place them on. So this is parchment paper, not wax paper, and certainly not plastic wrap. Parchment paper. It's a good thing to have in your kitchen. If you're like me, I don't use it a whole lot. That one's not thinly sliced, but I won't tell anybody if you don't. I can buy a thing of parchment paper and it will last me forever. It's not terribly expensive and it's useful for a lot of different things. You don't have to place them on there in any particular way. I mean, you can put them on there chaotically if you want to. This is just a great way to keep from wasting food, I think. I've been trying to be less wasteful, especially with food. So you place them on there. You do as many or as few as you want to. Just put them on there. I have room for more, but this is all I'm going to do right now. Look at that paper. It almost looks like a cool watercolor. That's actually really pretty. I like it. Okay, so you get it on your parchment lined baking sheet. We are going to bake these strawberry slices in half-hour increments, rotating the pan every 30 minutes for 2 or more hours. Flip the strawberries after 1 hour. So you're going to bake them for an hour and do it for 30 minutes. Rotate, and then after the second 30-minute increment, you're going to flip these all over. The strawberries should be dry, no longer moist when done. And that's it. That's all you have to do. You don't have to add anything to them. You don't have to do anything special at all. That's all you have to do. Just cut them thinly. They don't say how thin. They say cut thin slices. Don't do like big old chunks like that. Don't do what I did. I don't care. You know I don't care. Okay, so I'm going to pop them in there. We'll go ahead and do 2 30-minute. Well, I'll show it to you after the first 30-minute increment, and then we'll go from there. Here we have them after the first 30 minutes. You can see that there's the juices are kind of coming out of them a little bit. They're very warm. They smell really good. It smells like strawberries in my kitchen. It's actually really nice. So I had them in there this way. So I'm going to rotate them and we'll do them for another 30 minutes. Well, I thought I was recording this entire time. I was not. I have now baked them for an hour. And what I did, I thought I was making a video moving all these and I missed it. They look like little red pickle slices. So they did bake for an additional 30 minutes. They have now baked to 250 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour, rotating halfway through. And it's time to flip them. And I decided instead of just leaving them where they were, I had some space down here. So I just peeled them off and put them down here. And you want to make sure they're completely dry. You don't want any moisture left. They're not there yet. There's still some moisture there. So I didn't get a video of the sound of the picking, like peeling them off the parchment paper, because it's actually really good. but maybe we'll get to do it again. I'm going to go ahead and I have flipped all of the pieces over, and I moved them down here where I had some space where I didn't have any strawberries. We're going to bake them another 30 minutes at 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and then we'll come back and see how they do. And we might need another piece of parchment paper if we could do it, like say we do it for another hour and there's still moisture. I have plenty of parchment paper though, so if we need more, I have plenty more. So let's go ahead and do our little strawberries for another 30 minutes. So we have now done another 30 minutes. Some of them are definitely drier. You can tell the ones that were cut nice and thin are they're very dried out now. A few of these pieces are still they're not completely dry. I'm thinking I might take off the ones that are done like these right here because I don't want to burn them. I think that one might actually be a little bit burnt. And so I'm going to do it again. But basically, yeah, that's all you do. You cut them nice and thin, like these here that are actually done. And they're really yummy. I tried one and they're really sweet and they're really good. So it might be a way to save some strawberries if they're about to go bad. You could cut them up and dry them. All right, now we can try our Strawberry Shortcake Muddy Buddies and maybe a few of these little dried strawberries too. We now have our Strawberry Shortcake Muddy Buddies. I just put some here in a little bowl, and they kind of, well, you can smell the white chocolate, but you don't really smell the strawberries so much. And I have just a little, this is one of my grapefruit bowls, and I have some of this dried strawberries in here. It's funny because when you drop them down in there, they sound like little rocks. I hate that I didn't get the sound of peeling them off that parchment paper because it was beautiful. I thought I was recording it, and then when I finished I realized it didn't record any of it. Somehow I didn't manage to not hit record. I'm sorry. I almost want to make some more so I can get the sound of peeling them off that parchment paper because it was beautiful. I may actually do that one day. So we have our dried strawberries to try. Now I didn't put anything on these. I didn't put any sugar or anything on them. So we have our little dried strawberries. And we have our Muddy Buddies. I think I'll try one of the dried strawberries first. So here's one of the thin sliced ones. A little crunchy. Kind of sweet, kind of tangy. Not bad. They definitely taste different from the freeze-dried strawberries in the bag. I actually like these better. Like just for snacking, I think they're better like this. And of course you can make them in a food dehydrator or whatever. Okay. So, ooh, they're a little bit tart, a little bit tangy. Okay, so then we have our Muddy Buddies. Isn't that cute? It was so easy to make. I guess the hardest part was, getting that initial bunch of dry cereal stirred up. That took a little bit, but melting it was no problem. It took almost no time to melt it and stir it up. It's very easy. And we have our these are some of the freeze-dried strawberries in here. Oh, they softened up in here. They have softened up. Now I did make this about 2 hours ago because I had to have time to make my dried strawberries. So it has had a couple of hours, and I popped it in the refrigerator. So we have our Muddy Buddies. That is really good. That is so good. The cereal softened up too. And you end up with little clusters like that. Very good. I like it. Now that was made with rice Chex. I just noticed on the back, they do give you the recipe for the original Chex Party Mix here. And I guess it's like the original Chex Muddy Buddies that you make with semi-sweet chocolate chips. You also add peanut butter and vanilla. So that's a little bit different. And this is a larger yield. With this, you're going to use 9 cups of cereal. So you're going to get even more. So if you've never prepared any food before, if you're intimidated and you think you can't do it, you could start with something like this. I mean, it's so easy and it's so yummy, and you get a lot. I mean, this is just a small sample of how much we got just from that bit that we made. You get quite a bit. You could even make your own dried strawberries. All it takes is an oven set to 250 and some time. And remember to turn it and flip them over. That's it. You could totally do this. Yes. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed getting to see the Muddy Buddies come into being. So yummy. It's a very nice little treat. It's crunchy, it's sweet. It has the white chocolate chips and the strawberry. It's so good. It's a nice little snack. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope that you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon.